And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we're back again, biatches. We worked on Sunday, but it's football season, so we don't mind. It's fine. Yeah, so yesterday we were talking during the postgame about, like, things that I wear, because now we're being streamed. I tried to get iHeart to stream our show for, 10 years. All I had to do was quit in order to get my show streamed, and thankfully I've got DJLG. But we were talking about how, I've never had to worry about being videoed or on camera. I don't give a shit. Rolling here with a booger in my nose, who cares? Scratch my butt during a segment, so what, oh, wow. All it took was that to get a new member. What's up, Jeff? But it's like product placement, So, like, I've got this water here, and I just randomly bought water at 7-Eleven. I'm not trying to give Alkaline 88 any love. So, do you think, and this is a serious question, I'm not kidding, do you think I need to start... You know what? Celebrities and like ball players will do this. They'll come out and they'll have water, but the labels will be off the bottle. It's just like a random empty plastic bottle. Or they'll take.
Yeah, we call it Greeking in the film industry. Yeah, when you Greek something, you remove all its labels or you cover it with tape.
Okay, yeah. Are the Greeks known for that?
I have no idea what the background is on the terminology.
Like Greek.
Yeah, but they'll say, hey, can someone Greek that water bottle real quick?
Oh.
So you either remove the label, turn it around, or tape over it.
Put tape over it. Yeah, you'll
or
see
you can,
that all the
Or
time.
you can be creative and like change the label, like change the Adidas to like a P or something.
Right.
Like, just change one letter or put like a line through it. That works too.
Yeah, our show's nowhere near popular enough for me to worry about this yet. But, if you, like Dion says, if you think like a star, you're going to be a star. So at some point when we blow up, I got to make sure that only sponsored stuff's in the room in here with us. Like the hat, obviously that's our company. I support Jimmy. He's not paying. I like Muhammad Ali. We like the Spurs. So, I don't know, just things to think about,
What's
dude.
Scotty Cameron giving you for that product placement?
Scotty's given me a lot of grief and cost me $350 for the club that I lost and had to pay for it. That hoity-toity golf club in the hellscape. Yeah, that's what Scotty's.
And I don't think Jose Canseco is contributing to you either.
Well, and Scotty does. Scotty's a good story though in my life history. It's a fun story to share. The time I played golf with my pops in the hellscape and lost the fucking club and had to go all over the course looking for it. And Kelly Slater, the world champion surfer, was out there helping me look for it. It's a good story. Who'd you mention? Who else?
Jose.
Jose Canseco.
Jose.
Canseco reminds me of the time the ball bounced off his head. All the things he did, all of the shit that he stirred by throwing everybody under the bus with that book that he wrote, that infamous book where he threw half the Rangers under the bus for juicing. the thing that stands out to me the most of the Bash brothering Canseco was the ball that bounced off his head into the bleachers for a ground rule double when he was playing for the Rangers. You remember that? That was amazing.
It's a famous play.
I think it was in Kansas City, I want to say. Anyway, so if you see me, these people are not sponsored. And here's the other weird part about this, too. This is tap water. This was in my car I traveled back from Fort Worth Thursday morning after the Pearl Jam concert and stopped to get water. And when I was done with it, I just threw it in the back seat. So I drove to your studio this morning and forgot to bring water, so I got this out of the floorboard and just filled it up with tap water in your sink. That's what I'm drinking.
Okay.
Just generic San Antonio tap water.
I've got bottled water somewhere around here if you need it.
But
I don't mind. I don't mind San Antonio tap water.
It's actually pretty good. It's not bad at all. I've had some shitty ones, like that well water in the country. You get's awful. We filtrate our water though, don't we? We fluoride our water, right?
Yeah,
Americans do. The Europeans do not.
Well, we definitely do here in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's good. God knows that's good because I don't have any dental insurance these days, so I can take all the cleanness I can get whenever I drink. All right, that's all right.
Well, before you go on,
sorry.
After I was talking shit about your small rotation of shirts, I noticed you're wearing a kind of a polo-ish shirt today. Is that new? I don't think I've seen this one before. You're not wearing a novelty T-shirt today.
No, I'm not. And here's the thing: I don't want to force it. If a cool T-shirt comes up in the rotation, it comes up. I don't want it to look. I've always said this: you can't try to be cool. That's the least cool thing you can do, and we're not going to do that on this show. The old radio show rules still apply to this show here, and whatever I do in the future, if this is it or whatever, the old radio show rules apply. Trying to be cool is uncool. Trying to force the funny is unfunny. This is the shirt that came up in the rotation today. I know it's funny and ironic because last night I talked about trying to up my T-shirt game, and I want to, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to roll in here with shirts that don't suit me. I'm not going to come in here with a Drake 21 Savage Tour T-shirt on because it's cool for the kids if I don't fucking like Drake. And I don't wear a lot of pullover either. This is very generic for me. I don't wear, it's just, if I'm going to wear something like this, it needs to be cool and it needs to fit my chi-chis good. And this one does, so it's comfortable, and that's what happened. I look good in blue on TV. So that's it. That's my thought on that. And you know what else it matches? Matches the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, it's that dark cowboy blue. This is the dark blue they wear when they when they don't wear the whites and they wear the all blues. This is the dark blue that matches the dark blue road jerseys that most of y'all hate, that I love. So we're talking Cowboys today on Mike Taylor Live. For those that are not watching and are just listening, sorry for all the visual discussion, but hey, we have to cater to our YouTube viewers too. All right, let's get into it and start off by thanking everybody that showed up last night to the Ringer, and start off by thanking the Ringer mostly for having us out there. We did Cowboys Overreact presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell at the Ringer Pub over on Jones Mossberger in Thousand Oaks, and we had a real good time out there, and I appreciate all the Thunderdomers that showed up and made us look good. I was talking to management from the Ringer when the show was over, and before I left, he told me that. And when I left, by the way, there were still Thunderdomers in there drinking. So the Thunderdome tab even went up after I left. God knows how some of them fools might not have rolled out of there till God knows when. But he told me in the parking lot when I was going to the car that it was their most lucrative financial Sunday than ever. It's their best Sunday during the NFL season ever. They've had better days, but they didn't have one Cowboy day last year. Not one Sunday Cowboy game did they have better revenue-wise than they had yesterday. How about that? See, y'all made me look good. I appreciate that. So thank you, everybody that showed up to the Ringer. You know how we roll, man. We support all. It's a real chill vibe in there. We just sit there and watch the game. There wasn't a whole lot of reason to go ape shit. There wasn't a ton of emotion. Just some dudes sitting around with their ladies watching the ball game and drinking beer. Because there was an ass whipping from start to finish, and it was pretty evident early on that the Cowboys were going to win. And so we didn't have a whole lot of drama in there. But it doesn't matter who you are as long as you listen. Come out and support us, man. But I don't care if you're a communist liberal heathen. I don't care if you're a right-wing nut job. I don't care if you don't care. Just come on in there and drink beer with us and watch them Cowboys. And yesterday we were served up one of those, what did I call it? It was the ultimate take what the other team gives you in a 30-10 Cowboy victory yesterday over the Jets, who had to play without Aaron Rodgers, who blew his Achilles tendon out 4 plays into his Jets career last week, which is a shame. And I mean that. I'm not being silly. It's a damn shame. It's bad for the league when you lose your elite guys like that. And shit, they've lost one right off the top. And this kid they're running out there now for the Jets, my word. Now, granted, when Rodgers went down last week, I quit watching. I don't know. So I didn't see much of the game. I've not watched a whole lot of Jets games over the last couple of years. All I know is that the Jets were mediocre last year because of Zach Wilson, the Mormon. They had a good defense. They had good skill people. They had a good coaching staff, but they had a crappy quarterback, which is why they went out and traded half their franchise for Aaron Rodgers and then brought in a bunch of Rodgers' dudes from Green Bay. I had no idea how atrocious Zach Wilson is. And, of course, he did himself absolutely zero favors last year when he essentially refused to take any sort of culpability. How very typical young generation. Refused to take any responsibility after another shitty game he had last year, and it pissed off the guys in the room something awful. He's fortunate to even be back with the Jets this year, but now he's their starter, and they're having to pretend like he's good. Bunch of guys rallied around him in the locker room yesterday when the game was over, apparently, because he was pretty down, and guys were coming over and trying to, pep him up. But good luck. I don't know how the Jets can stay with Zach Wilson. He's not any good.
It's garbage.
Cooper Rush is better than Zach Wilson. He was non-competitive. I don't know how the hell they beat the Bills last week. I guess with elite defense, and they got lucky, and Josh Allen, the overrated quarterback for the Bills, sucked and turned the ball over all night long and got the Bills beat. Zach Wilson didn't beat Buffalo. Josh Allen threw a bunch of interceptions, and the Bills and the Jets defense won that game. And hell, they won that game on a punt return in overtime, so it wasn't even Zach Wilson that helped score the points in overtime to win the game. It was a damn punt return. So I don't know how New York's good. I don't know how long they can go with Zach Wilson. You can't just go bringing quarterbacks in off the street after the season starts unless you give them 4, 5, 6 weeks to get ready. I mean, no bullshit. Will Greer would have been more competitive yesterday for the Jets. The Cowboys cast off. We played video of him crying at the end of training camp when the Cowboys let him go. Will Greer would be more competitive as the starting quarterback for the Jets, I'm convinced of that, than Zach Wilson. How the Jets, and I respect that coaching staff, and their organization's gotten its head out of its butt in the last, Woody Johnson's the idiot owner, and the general management has brought in Robert Saleh and his staff, and it looks like they're leaving him alone. And it's for the betterment of the organization. But how that Robert Saleh can go all spring, all summer, and then make the determination that, the 39-year-old starting quarterback, his backup's going to be Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson sucks.
That was a disgraceful performance.
I don't know how long the Jets can stay with him. And it made for kind of a ho-hum day for Cowboys fans. These are good things. This is because God knows this won't happen but about 2 or 3 more times all season, where it's so obvious that the Cowboys are just completely just overmatching the opposition, that it's going to be a bit of a ho-hum game. And that's what we got yesterday. And the timing's good for the Cowboys offense, of course, which is still trying to find its way as we go along here. I'll get rid of a couple more Jets points and we'll actually talk about the Cowboys. But, and it wasn't all kumbaya in the Jets locker room rallying around Zach Wilson either, though. What's his Breece Hall, the stud running back for the Jets? He only got 4 carries yesterday. He was bitching on Twitter about it. Oh, Breece Hall tweeted out last night, 4 football emojis. That's it, to represent the 4 carries he got. He's pissed because he didn't get any touches. And then after about an hour, when Robert Saleh or somebody on the staff called him and said, "Hey, motherfucker, you want to be inactive next week? Get that tweet off your timeline." And he did. He deleted the tweet.
Hey, Twitter world.
What a little bitch. And Sauce Gardner, their stud corner, he got into all this Twitter beef last night with a bunch of Jets fans and got mad and deleted his account. Oh, man. Biatch. That's good. Kevin Durant should delete all of his Twitter accounts, although KD thrives off getting in. He likes getting into it. Sauce Gardner got his ass called out and got punked by his own fan base on Twitter last night. So rather than just stay above all that crap and not even think about it, he winds up deleting his account. What a dumbass. So it was a rough night for New Wave of York, and the Cowboys go 2-0 in their series with the New York teams to start this season. All right, let's get to some Cowboys talk. But first, this show brought to you in part by my boys over at Live Oak Vodka. Live Oak Vodka. I had the Live Oak Hottie Toddy a couple of weeks ago when I was sick, and it helped me recover. So whether you're looking to recuperate or just looking to tie one after work, whatever it is, if you're a vodka man, I recommend Live Oak. That is my vodka. They got a 91 score last year in the 2022 Ultimate Spirits Challenge of 2K22. Got a 91, these boys at Live Oak Vodka. They're made down at Coastal Bend Distilling, which is in Bayville, right north of Corpus Christi, Texas. It is Live Oak Vodka. I had a shot of Live Oak yesterday with my White Claw that LG got on me for drinking during the show yesterday, and it was good. Just put a little lime in there, shoot that shit, and then chase it with a beer. All right, thank you to the boys at Live Oak Vodka. Let's get to the Cowboys some more here. I got a few other things. We'll go around the rest of the NFL today. It's going to be Cowboys-laden and intensive, as you might imagine, with some NFL stuff sprinkled in. A couple of plugs I want to get to as well. And we'll jump into college football mañana. A lot of thoughts on UTSA, Texas, Dion. So we'll do some college football on Tuesday as part of Ask Whip Tuesday tomorrow. All right, so at some point, it might even be this week, although after what I've seen from the Cowboys defense these first 2 weeks, I will be pretty pissed if they don't bully Arizona on Sunday at 3:25 when the Cowboys go to Phoenix. They better kick Arizona's butt. But is it possible the Cardinals beat Dallas? Yes. How? It's the NFL, man. How the hell did the Jets beat Buffalo last week with Zach Wilson? It's the NFL, and goofball crap happens. So that being said, I'll still be pissed if the Cowboys don't keep Arizona under 20 at least. I mean, it's a defense that's so far it's pitched a shutout and then finally gave up a touchdown yesterday on busted coverage. They've only given up 10 points in the first 2 games. They better not give up more than 20 to Joshua Dobbs and the Arizona Cardinals, who blew a 20-point lead yesterday and lost to the same Giants team that the Cowboys beat 40-0. The only thing I can say with regard to things that make sense or lack thereof in the NFL, we talk about the NFL, the most unpredictable pro league there is in America or the world. The NFL sucks because it can't predict it from week to week. So that all being said, the Cowboys should bully Arizona on Sunday night, which I'll do another postgame. Cowboys Overreact presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell. I'm going to do a Facebook postgame on Sunday when this game is over. But at some point, and more often than not, even though the Cowboys defense looks good because of how hard it is to play defense in the NFL, how easy it is to score seemingly in the NFL, how the rules are stacked against all the defenses, at some point, more often than not this season, the Cowboys offense is going to have to win games for them. At some point, Dak and Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys offensive line and all of their skilled players are going to have to lead the way. At some point, the defense is going to bend. Or even if it's a low-scoring game, at some point in winning time, let's say it's a 13-13 game Sunday night in Phoenix at the end of the game, or it's 17-14 Arizona, at some point, the offense is going to have to grab games and win them in the fourth quarter. 8 times out of 10 in the NFL, these games are all decided, and I don't care who's playing, they're all decided by single digits that come down to the last 5 minutes of the game. And it's going to happen. You can't kick everybody's ass every week, no matter who is playing edge rush for you, where Micah Parsons is killing it right now. But I will say this with regards to the offense. While I anticipate that more often than not, as the season gets really going, the offense is going to have to carry the weight on some games. But I don't know that I really trust them to do that right now. the offense has not been asked to do anything so far. They were literally asked to do nothing in New York last week. And yesterday, all they needed to do was find a way to score more than 10. So they've not been tested. And I said this last week when I found out Aaron Rodgers was done. This buys the Cowboys offense some time. It's not that they've been bad. They just haven't been asked to do much, and so they haven't. By design, I'm sure. But that's good. It's a perfect start for Mike McCarthy, who hasn't called plays in years, and he's never called plays with Dak Prescott. And so here he is now in Dak's ear during games, and there's a camaraderie. There's a chemistry that has to get built. Say what you will about Kellen Moore, whose team's 0-2, by the way. But Dak and Kellen Moore, regardless of the results, they were on the same page. They were one brain in two bodies there for the last couple of seasons. And that's why Dak was frustrated when the Cowboys let Kellen Moore go, because that was his security blanket during these games. He had a voice in his head guiding him along, regardless of the results, which, oh, by the way, won 12 games last year and won a playoff game on the road, just saying. It's going to take some time for McCarthy and Dak to get that same sauce that Kellen Moore and Dak had for the last few years. And at some point, when the offense is asked to, hey, we need y'all to win this game today instead of defense, hopefully by then these two will be ready to roll. And right now, I'm not so sure they could. If things go haywire Sunday and the defense has a shitty game or ball bounces weird twice and whatever reason the Cowboys find themselves down with 2 minutes to go Sunday on the road, I'm not terribly sure I can trust this offense right now. In a month, sure, but right now, I don't know, especially with the uncertainty of guys that are out of the lineup. Missed Brandon Cooks yesterday. Didn't play because he tweaked his knee in practice last week, or actually tweaked his knee at the end of the Giants game, and it just never got any better, certainly not enough for him to practice or play in the game yesterday. And so 1 week into his Cowboys career, now Brandon Cooks is missing time. No idea if he'll play Sunday. Fort Worth's own, the left guard that showed up and kicked ass all year last year as a rookie, Tyler Smith. He didn't play again yesterday, so he's not even made his season debut. It's just a wonky start for the offense. Hell, they scored 30, but don't get me wrong. They kicked 5 field goals, and they were efficient. Dak wasn't amazing, but he didn't have to be. Running backs looked good, showed a lot of depth, but I'm just saying, on the whole right now, the offense is just okay. But it's hard to really judge them because they've not really been asked to do anything more than be okay. Dak hasn't thrown any interceptions the first 2 weeks of the season. Of course, all you Dak haters out there, as soon as he throws one, could be Sunday, then you'll let me know how shitty he is. Although you don't say nothing after he doesn't throw any for 2 games. It's not like it's a world-class offense just yet, but they've been fine. They've been fine. Dak's running a new system. He's running a big part of the old West Coast offense that McCarthy ran up at the Packers. He's been good. He's not been great, but he hasn't been asked to be great. And having Aaron Rodgers get hurt bought the Cowboys offense some time. All right. By the way, and if you look at the box score from yesterday, the thing that sticks out the most to me outside of CeeDee Lamb's 11 catches, did you see how many passes the running backs combined to catch? This has not been part of their offense. This is the new one you're seeing, where especially with Brandon Cooks being out, let's Dak and dunk. Should I say you like Dak and dunk better or dunk and Dak? Like Dak and dunk. Like Dak first. It's a Dak and dunk offense. They threw the ball 11 times to running backs. Tony Pollard caught 7 passes yesterday. He was never able to do that when he was splitting time with Zeke Elliott. And I'll say this too, and I said this on the postgame yesterday, and it wasn't because I was drinking. I've been drinking today. It's the deepest running back core of players they've had in a long time. Probably since Zeke was in his prime and Tony Pollard was the rising young kid. They've not had this many options at running back. They got 3 now with Tony Pollard, who had a great game, and Rico Dowdle, who's finally getting quality minutes, and he's done fine. And of course, the little dude, Deuce, who's shorter than DJLG. He was good. Hell, Kevontae Turpin got 2 carries, the TCU punt returning wide receiver. So you're going to see a lot of that as this offense finds itself, especially in the first part of the season. And while the defense carries the thing, it buys the offense time to get its stuff where it needs to be gotten. And it don't need to be elite after week 2. The defense is fun. Boy, the defense, that's fun. How about the defense? It's been crazy fun to watch the Cowboys defense. And like I said, they should go into Phoenix and bully the Cardinals on Sunday. What is it? So the Cowboys have now, to get this right, the Cowboys as a defense, the first 2 games of the season, have just as many sacks as they've given up points. 10. Cowboys have 10 sacks in these first 2 games, and they've only given up 10 points. And hell, they've scored 6 because they damn near scored 6 more yesterday. But Micah's fumble return for the touchdown was called back because he made contact with a Jet's leg. So it was this close to the Cowboys the defense actually scoring more points through the first 2 weeks than they've given up.
2 weeks.
They've already scored 6. Damn, and should have had 12, but they called Micah's return back because he made contact with the Jet. So he was rolled down by contact. So I wrote down this stat here that I stole off the internets. This is the 5th team in NFL history. Well, let me rephrase. This Cowboys defense is only the 5th defense in the Super Bowl era. Since Green Bay won the first Super Bowl in the mid-'60s. Only the 5th team since the mid-'60s to score at least, and this is the Cowboys team total. That's why I said defense. Cowboys have scored 70 points. They've only given up 10. They're the 5th team since the mid-'60s to score at least 70 points and only give up 10 or less through the first 2 games of a season. Does that sound right? I think I got that right. It's a lot of numbers. They've scored 70. They've only given up 10. The only other 4 teams since the mid-'60s to start a season like that, the 2019 Patriots with Brady, the 1970 Detroit Lions, the 1967 Oakland Raiders, and the 1966 Houston Oilers. That's it. Cowboys have outscored their opponents 70-10. And the defense has scored 6 of the 70. The punt team has scored 6 of the 70. And it's been absolutely beautiful to watch. Micah Parsons, he likes to call himself a lion. Like that little cat crawl he does after he sacks people. Now I'm worried he's going to tweak his groin doing that shit, but he does it every time he makes a sack. He goes crawling across the field because he's got that big old lion tattoo on his bicep. Yeah, he's a lion, and he's clearly the leader of the pride. He's also a minister of death out there praying for war. I love the dude. And he's so damn good. It's funny. Like Mike has become like, Tim Duncan. We're taking for granted. Don't even get to Micah talk till 30 minutes into the show when he was the best guy on the field because we take it for granted because he's so good every week. Micah Parsons is so good, the opposition has to account for him so much. He takes up so much of the other team's energy trying to block him and think about him that it's totally opening up all these lanes and alleys for everybody else. Micah Parsons even benefits the safeties. They're so panicked yesterday with shitty Zach Wilson trying to get the ball out so fast because Micah's up in his grill. He's throwing interceptions all over the field. So because with Micah, the lead lion, of course, he gets to eat first. That's how it goes in the savannah when the lions make the kill. Daddy gets to come eat first. That's Micah. But because he's such a badass leader of the pack, there's food to go around for everybody. So I guess the defensive linemen, they're the female lions. They eat second. Then the babies eat third. Is that how it goes? The daddy eat first, then the girls, then the babies.
Sure.
Shit. The buzzards and the hyenas are getting to eat these Micah Parsons kills. Those are the safeties and the backup players. It's had this trickle-down effect on the defense, and it's been sensational to watch and a hell of a lot of fun. So there's that. There's Cowboys talk for the day. 30-10, that's all I got. I mean, they're just rolling, and they should continue to roll. The schedule now all of a sudden is favorable, at least this first month, because you look at things now with this 2-0 start, they go play a Cardinals team playing without Allen's own Kyler Murray, a Cardinals team that tanked a 20-0 lead yesterday and lost at home to the damn Giants. And then you get week 4 when they played New England, and New England's not very good this year, clearly. Obviously, they've got Belichick, so you never take anything for granted with the Patriots. But so you got the Cardinals on the road Sunday. Then you got the Patriots at Jerry World in 2 weeks. There is no reason why this Cowboy team should not be 4-0 here in 2 weeks, which, by the way, our next show at the Ringer Pub, I'm going to do the overreacts every week. But our next live on location one is in 2 weeks. We're back at the Ringer on Sunday, October the 1st for the Cowboys-Patriots game, which is also a 3:25 start. Our show brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. Go get the Taylor Especial when you go in there. If you go get your glass fixed at my boys and girls at R&R, make sure you mention our show. You know, the most popular podcast in town. Mention us, and you will get yourself a Taylor Especial. They give hookups to all Thunderdomers that go in there and get their glass fixed. They can fix everything. They have a huge inventory. They're Poodle San Antonio. They don't screw around. They get shit done. And when you mention me, they'll give you a discount too. So no waiting 3 days for your car to get out of their shop. It's going to be out today. You get it in there and get that glass fixed today and mention me and get a discount. It's R&R Auto Glass at 210-340-2588. 340-2588 or rnrautoglass.com. rnrautoglass.com. Okay, what else today? A couple of shout-outs, and I want to go through some of the other NFL talking points here. Hang on, I got to get a drink of water, Lawrence. Do some funny drops or something.
Panic. Hey, Ruben's in here from
what's up, Ruben?
Cafe Don Juan.
What's up, Ruben?
He says you need to come by and put the I Love Tacos shirt on your rotation.
Oh, I do, man. You know, Ruben gave me one. Ruben, it's too big for me, bro. I think I got the XL on accident. It's my fault because I'm the one that picked it out. Yeah. I need a large. I
can trade it up.
I can sleep down. I can sleep in that thing, but yeah, I do want to rep it on the show. And I'm no bullshit. I will. If you're a Thunderdome business, not everything we do has to be getting paid. It would be nice, but I'm happy to give. I'm happy to give high schools shout outs. I'm happy to give local businesses shout outs. If you're a Thunderdome owned business
or nonprofit,
thank you for that, sir. Oh, let me button up the rest of my buttons.
It is the big give season, apparently.
Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, and which, by the way, we're going to be hyping a golf tournament for a nonprofit here starting soon. I mentioned the golf tournament that Nina's going to help host on behalf of the Kendall County Women's Shelter in October. We're going to start hyping that here as the days come and go. So thank you for that. We will represent nonprofits. Now, I can't be like Satan's Band of Merry Atheists nonprofit, you know. Well, I mean, if it's a cool looking design, let's
it's case by case.
It's case by case. That's right. Everything's its own individual case for sure. So a couple of shout outs here, and I want to get into some other NFL stuff. I want to thank a guy called Dan Manz, M-A-N-Z, Dan Manz. He, by the way, I'm happy to represent the T-shirt. So Dan is the guy that I worked with at Best Tickets. They're the ones that helped me find my Pearl Jam tickets last week. And Dan's a big Thunderdomer, and he realized that it was me because Nina bought me tickets, but I had to go we had to change it to me so I could go in there and get them because of freaking Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster sucks ass. Hey, Ticketmaster, F you. I'm not wearing a Ticketmaster t-shirt. I will wear a Best Tickets t-shirt. San Antonio's own Best Tickets, by the way. So because we were in Nita's name, I had to do a little thing because she didn't go. I went. So in order for the tickets to get put into my name, Best Tickets, it wasn't that hard. But Dan reached out to me via email. Hey, man, I'm Dan at Best Tickets, longtime Thunderdomer. Shout out. So thank you to a guy called Dan Mans who helped get the ticket switched over to my name. LG helped me download the Ticketmaster app last week so I could help locate them.
It's a pain in the ass, the process of transferring the tickets.
Okay, thank you for that.
It is a pain in the ass.
It's me, which it's going to be hard anyway, but even you admit that it's a pain in the ass for everybody else too, so that's good. So thank you to Best Tickets for helping me out. And it turns out that was a legendary show that we saw too. That thing got a lot of hype the next day and the following couple of days. with that show and the set list and the fact they were playing hurt and didn't have their drummer. That wound up being a legendary Pearl Jam show that I got to go to. So thank you to the boys at Best Tickets for helping me out. One more thing I want to plug, too. I'm going to jump into some NFL talk and make sure I get this right. Another reason, by the way, I'm going to be wearing a decent shirt on Wednesday, too. Well, at least at night. So speaking of Nina is going to be hosting a Q&A session with the noted comedian Cristela Alonso. You familiar with Cristela Alonso?
No.
She's from the Valley, and she actually had her own TV.
What's happening?
She had her own sitcom for a year, and she's just a traveling comedian, and she's a powerful female, Latina, kick-ass, and she's going to be doing a set at Tobin Center Wednesday. And before her set, the Tobin Center wanted to do a Q&A with her and then have someone introduce her. And the Tobin Center asked Nina to do it. So Nina's kind of the MC of Cristela's big appearance at Tobin Center on Wednesday night. So if y'all are going to go see Cristela Wednesday night, say hi if you see us. We'll be out there. I'll be out there repping that woman who's, my own badass little Latina who's going to be out there Q&A'ing. Cristela, representing Bean and Cheese Man. All right, so yeah. All right. One more Cowboy talking point that I forgot to get to because I need to start writing better notes, but I'm not going to change now. Some of y'all were lamenting the offense stalling yesterday and kicking all the field goals. Oh, damn it, this offense sucks. Dak's terrible. 5 fucking field goals. Okay, that's cool. They did score 30, by the way, which should be good enough to win most of the time. But, yeah, you're right. I don't want 5 field goals all the time. Thank you, Esteban. Just subscribe. He could be from Latvia. You don't know that. You're just going to label a guy named Esteban. Maybe it's Esteban. Maybe it's Latvian. You don't know. Anyway. So, yes. That's not Latvian. That's fine. I don't love 5 field goals. I'd like a couple of touchdowns mixed in there. But you know what I took from that? On a day in which the Cowboys were going to win anyway, Brandon Aubrey did a good job. Okay. See, Brandon Aubrey, who the Cowboys have put all this faith in, and I wasn't sure what to expect from the former pro soccer player they've decided to roll with as their kicker. And God knows he's not had any pressure kicks either yet because the Cowboys have just been up so big so early. He missed the first extra point last week in New York, and I was like, hell, here we go again. But he hadn't missed a kick since. Made all of his kicks the rest of the New York game last week. Made all of his kicks yesterday against the Jets. Made 5 field goals, all distances. And so I'm not ready to say he's a stud, and the Cowboys got it right. But, it beats missing them, even though there's not any pressure kicks just yet. He ain't missing any, so that's good. What else? That's pretty much it. We'll jump into some other NFL stuff. All right, one more time. From my boys at San Antonio City Soccer Club, however. San Antonio City Soccer Club. This is the elite soccer club in all of San Antonio. They got over 1,500 kids that play there. Girls and boys start off as young as 4 years old, and it goes all the way up into college-age, high-tone, elite-level soccer playing. I was on their Twitter page over the weekend, and they were congratulating one of their female players who got a scholarship to go play college and go play college soccer. It's a legit soccer club, man, and that's the official soccer club of Thunderdome and the Mike Taylor Live Show on YouTube and Spotify. If you are interested in sponsoring one of the fields, reach out to me. It's only $1,000, and that's for an entire year in which you get your banner put up on a field. And thousands upon thousands of people go in and out of those fields and will see your company posted. And they'll also know that you support youth in this town. You support the kids, and they'll want to do business with you. It is the official soccer club of Mike Taylor Live, San Antonio City Soccer Club. All right.
Did we find out who the sponsors are, the new sponsors?
No.
For the
all right.
fields?
I'm making myself. Let me pull my phone out here. Let's see. Yeah, because we have 6 now. We started out needing 8, so now we only need 2.
Wow.
Who are the other?
Are you live texting Barry right now?
No, I'm making myself a note.
Okay.
It's on my little note sheet on my phone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I'll text Barry.
Look at you. Look how organized you are.
I know.
Using technology too. It's
Dude,
amazing.
this fucking hustle is real, bro.
Yeah.
This
I'm
hustle's
surprised. Do you
real.
have a Rolodex like at home, like an actual
No, dude.
physical?
No, I don't have a physical Rolodex. I put it on my phone. I know how to do notes. I even have a calendar in here. I know how to do it.
All right.
I'm not 90.
Okay.
I'm also just I'm anti-tech. It's not that I'm dumb. It's just I refuse to get super tech savvy. All right? Now, I'm not going to move to a shack in Montana and start sending out bombs in the mail because I'm so anti-tech. But I only allow so much room for tech in my life. But I've realized in the 90-ish days that we've been doing this show exclusively since I quit iHeart, I've realized that I need to get a little bit more technically savvy. Not too much, because I'll get uncomfortable because I don't support. Now, I'm fine with AI taking over the world. I just don't want to be in charge of it, right? I need more. Anyway, my point is, I know how to make notes. God dang it. Let's see. Who are the other soccer sponsors? All right, I'll get a list for you and we'll give them some love. I think I promised to do this on Friday, didn't I? And I still didn't do it.
Wow.
All right, but that's only because of my ADHD. But it's been noted duly in my phone, so I'll get to it. All right, this is the part of the show where we need, and this is the part where I get mad because Lawrence won't let us play a lot of music because we'll get sued. We need like some NFL music, not like just some boogie woogie. It doesn't have. See, most talk shows that talk about football play the same 3 or 4 NFL films beats, like from like those old school NFL films music that you're so familiar. We roll this way. I like the ones that are not obvious. This is perfect for NFL Reek. This is the did someone make this for us? Did you find that still some generic music chamber somewhere?
Yeah, it's a paid music library that royalty free stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This wasn't our boy up. This isn't our boy up in Austin.
No.
Okay.
But I do have some news. He's actually going to be starting a reggae band soon, so we're going to have to go up there and check him out.
That dude's ridiculous.
Yeah. Shout out to Gene Centeno in Austin.
The guy that made those kick-ass rock riffs is going to start a reggae band?
Yeah.
Of course
pretty soon.
There's nothing that dude can't do. That dude's ridiculous. This has just become the official NFL talking points music of Mike Taylor Live. I love it. It's great. All right, it's perfect. I'm not going to go through all of the games, just some of the things at the top of my head that matter to me because I'm selfish that way. My man Joe Burrow, one of my favorite players in the world, regardless of sport, tweaked that bad calf again yesterday, man, in Cincinnati. My Bengals are 0-2. That's highly unfortunate. And they lose to the Ravens 27-24. The Bengals were down big, had to come back and still fell short. So the Ravens, I think, are 2-0. But, boy, they've got injury issues that may or may not catch up to them. Odell Beckham Jr., who I thought they totally overpaid for, is already hurt and came out of the game early yesterday. And he's on the sidelines all sad with his hoodie on. He's always got that woebegone comportment to him whenever things aren't his way. And, of course, last week they lost LaGrange's own J.K. Dobbins, their stud running back for the year, who tore his Achilles out of hell. So the Ravens are 2-0, but those birds are dropping like flies while my Bengals are 0-2. Hey, those Bengals were 0-2 last year. They got beat by Cooper Rush last year. Came back and were good, so we'll see what the Bengals do. Reality check a little bit in Detroit. All that feel good after the Lions beat the Chiefs to open up the season a week ago Thursday. Detroit got beat yesterday at home by the Seahawks in overtime, 37-31. The Seahawks, man, they gave Geno Smith all that money in the offseason, and I'm like, okay. But Geno's been great again in these first 2 games to start the season. A lot of people thought the Chargers were a Super Bowl contender, and they still might wind up being one, but the Chargers are now 0-2. They go into Tennessee and get beat by the Titans in overtime, 27-24. I wonder if the Chargers head coach sucks. This is the same coaching staff that blew that 3-touchdown lead in the playoffs in Jacksonville last year, when a lot of people thought the Chargers were going to go to the Super Bowl last year with that Justin Herbert. And then they blow that huge lead and lose, and now they're 0-2 to start this season. I haven't watched any of the Chargers much other than highlights, so I don't know what they're saying about Kellen Moore's play calling, but it wasn't like for lack of points. They scored 24, which is not a ton, but still, that thing's 0-2 there. The Texans are 0-2, of course. They get thumped at home by the Colts 31-10 or something like that. Although, was it Anthony Richardson, the very talented rookie quarterback for the Colts? He got hurt. He got concussed. His head nailed the back of the ground real hard. Bam, it like bounced. And he had a pretty bad concussion and had to come out of the game, so I don't know what his status will be for the next week. I like the new coaching syndicate that Houston's brought in. I like, at least their attitude. But boy, they got a long way to go in Houston. My God, those coaches are like, damn, this cupboard was empty. So they're going to need at least a year to get that thing right, at least pointed in the right direction. Houston's so bad. Just categorically bad from top to bottom, from the owners all the way down to the kids that wash the chonies. All right, how about those Giants? I picked the Giants to win the division, and a lot of y'all gave me shit when they got whooped by Dallas 40-0. And then those same Giants are down 20-0 yesterday to the Cardinals. It was 20-0 at the half. Arizona over New York yesterday. It's like the first 6 quarters, the Giants had been outscored 60-0. But New York somehow catches fire, even though they lost Saquon Barkley, who sprained his ankle real bad. The Giants come all the way back yesterday in Phoenix and beat the Cardinals 31-28. It's the biggest comeback from being down 20-0 for the Giants since 1950. Couple of others, and we'll get out of here. Washington holds on to beat Denver on the road. I'm high on the Commanders too. They beat the Broncos 35-33. Russell Wilson throws a Hail Mary 50-yard touchdown pass with no time on the clock to pull the Broncos to within 2. So with no time on the clock, Denver's going for 2 to tie it to force overtime, and it's incomplete. And Denver's 0-2. Although Russell Wilson looked better yesterday than he has at any point since he went to the Broncos. I still love my dude Sean Payton. I still think that he's going to help. That's just such a turgid organization, boy, who has also switched owners and now coaching staffs. Denver's got a long way to go too. And then my Dolphins, one of my other favorite AFC teams, with Tua and the coach that looks like he's 17. They spanked the Patriots last night 24-17. So how about those Dolphins? How about those effervescent Dolphins? So Miami is now 2-0 with both of their wins on the road, both against AFC teams, and one of those AFC teams in the division. So Miami is 2-0, and they haven't even played a home game yet, and they've already beaten the Chargers, who the Chargers will get right, I'm sure. So for tiebreaker standpoints, Miami has it. Miami's up a game already on the Patriots in the division with no home games yet for my Dolphins. Good to see Tua healthy, and good to see those Dolphins off to a good start. All right, that's all for us. Cowboys/NFL Overreaction Monday is done. Tomorrow was Ass Whip Tuesday, so we'll get a lot of ass whippage in. And we'll go through the college football doings from Tuesday. A lot of UTSA and Longhorn Big 12 and national stuff from Saturday. We'll overreact to whatever's in the news cycle as well. And what's whipping your ass and why. It's all coming down tomorrow at 10 a.m. Once again, thanks to everybody that showed up at the Ringer yesterday. It's always heartwarming when Thunderdome represents us. Thank y'all very much for doing that. Thank you to DJ LG, who worked hard setting all that up yesterday and getting us on the air every day. We'll see you boys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for college football/Ass Whip Tuesday on Mike Taylor Live on all of my kick-ass outlets here in America. Love you hard. See you tomorrow.
Puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
This is a crossbound